Morbius star says Marvel movie is set in the MCU. Morbius star Tyrese Gibson has claimed the film is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Are Sony Spider-Man films part of the MCU after all? Well, guys, no, it's not. I know as much of us speculate that, yeah, it is, because we saw the trailer out there with a snippet of Spider-Man on some graffiti, which we'll take a look at in a second. But I guess Tyrese was on this podcast. I'm not too sure of it, but he was talking about Fast 9, and he was talking about this project that he was starring in with Jared Leto, the Morbius project. And I guess he said that, yeah, it is part of the same universe. But then, of course, Sony came out right away and said, no. Sony debunks Tyrese Gibson's claim that Morbius is in the MCU. Okay, so as I said before, we did see that image of Spider-Man on the wall, in the graffiti, in the Morbius trailer. So everybody was just thinking, of course, naturally. And, of course, we were thinking also that Venom is part of this as well. So what's going on here? I'll help clear this up for you. The company also reported and backtracked claims that made by the movie star about the film's release date being moved to October 22. And that's not true either. That's not the release date. So basically, Tyrese had no idea what he was talking about. Ooh. Let's take a look at his at the quote from Sony here. Basically, a lot of people had to retract that story because Sony set people straight. Sony basically said no. Basically, the film is still slated for January 28th, 2022 is the release, and is not part of the MCU. Rather, the film is part of the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters. Now, we all know that obviously Spider-Man and Michael Keaton's Vulture are part of the MCU, or they were seen in the MCU. But once Sony gets Spider-Man back for his own movies without the MCU, once Spider-Man's done in the MCU, they'll be referred to as Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters. And I think Venom's going to be part of that as well. So I think that's what they're talking about. And they really needed to clarify that, because everybody will be running out there, well, why isn't it still part of the MCU then if we saw them there before? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's a little bit gray, and it'll come in a little bit more clear once we figure out what Sony's full game plan is with Spider-Man, which I think they are going to a Sinister Six, which would be cool. But Tyrese Gibson, man, ooh, you really, they really threw you under the bus. What do you think about that? Was that fair? Morbius star Tyrese says the movie is part of the MCU. However, yeah, he was called out on it. And what would you think if that happened to you? I'd be kind of like, oh man, guys, what are you doing to me? Tyrese Gibson, yeah, Fast 9. I'd be left speechless. What do you say then when he says Fast and Furious 10 and 11 will shoot back to back? Says Tyrese Gibson. Is it? His credibility is put through the ringer. But Morbius, release date January 29th, 2022. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Scream5 Wraps production on the long-awaited sequel. Now, guys, Scream5 is finally wrapped, and that's good because one of the directors, Tyler Gillette, took to his social media to, say that the picture's locked. I promise you, he says, I promise it'll be worth the wait. Okay, so there he is in the studio, and it looks like they're putting down the soundtrack, which is something that they do after the picture is locked. Picture locked means that it's done, it's final cut, so everybody can work on the visual effects properly and work on the soundtrack, finish up little post-production bits here and there. But the final edit is done. That's it. It's done. So that's cool. That's good news. That's really good news. Scream 5, of course, is going to tell the tale of a new installment of the Scream franchise where a woman returning to her home town to find out who has been committing a series of vicious crimes. So it's a very familiar plot, but it sees the return of Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette, and the writer Kevin Williamson there. And so that's cool. I like that a lot. Scream 5, guys. Scream 5 release date is January 14th, 2022. Yeah, cool. The Green Knight has a new poster out. There it is, guys. It's coming from the acclaimed director David Lowery. Now, guys, The Green Knight is an Arthurian tale that tells the tale of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Gawain? I think I pronounced that right. Basically, guys, if you haven't seen the trailer, it's awesome. The movie stars Dev Patel and Alicia Vikander. Look at that. The trailer was amazing. If you haven't seen it, I totally recommend that you go out and check it out. But there's the poster. There's the new poster. The Green Knight is slated for the release of July 30th, 2021, just next month, guys, and it's going to be on my must-see list of the year. It's one of my most anticipated, actually, to tell you the truth. The trailer is absolutely mind-blowing. Go check it out. Paul Rudd confirms he's already filming Ant-Man 3. Okay, well, Paul Rudd took to his Instagram to share this news. He was doing some celebrity charity basketball game thing, and he just said at the end of it that, yeah, he's there. Go check it out on Instagram. Cheetah, is that his handle? I don't know. But basically, he was talking about the celebrity game. He was trying to throw some shade around and stuff like that, just to have fun. And then at the very end of it, he says, oh, I'm in London filming Ant-Man 3. So I'll play that clip for you guys now. You guys in the live stream won't be able to see it, but you'll see it in the small story. Basically, he just says, yeah, I'm in London filming it. So I guess that's why Evangeline Lilly has been posting videos of her working out and getting in buff shape as well on her social media, because she's obviously the Wasp, right? So Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is what Ant-Man 3 is called. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is slated for a release date of February 2023. So we're still a bit away from it, but Paul Rudd, he's on the job. He's working on it. Cool. Pussy Island! Zoe Kravitz making directorial debut with Channing Tatum. What's all this about, guys? We saw this on Twitter the other day, just yesterday. Zoe Kravitz was going to direct this movie called Pussy Island, starring Channing Tatum. Well, what's it about? It centers around a young waitress who infiltrates a philanthropist and tech mogul Slater King in his private island. And King is going to be played by Tatum, which has more to it than meets the eye. The island itself has more to it than meets the eye. So that's the premise. I'm intrigued. It doesn't say that if she's going to star in it or not, but she got this idea a while back, and she said she wrote the script. The title alludes to this time and place where we claim to not be in anymore in terms of sexual politics. People are evolving and changing, but there's still a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths from past behaviors. Guys, if you go on and read this quote from Deadline, basically the title means a lot of things. She said she started writing it in 2017, and it was supposed to be kind of a lark, a joke, right? But then it started becoming something a little bit more serious. It evolved into something more. And that's where I'm finding this a lot more interesting, because Kravitz went on to say that Tatum was her first choice to play Slater King, adding that he was the one I thought of when I wrote this character. I just knew from Magic Mike and his live shows. I got the sense that he's a true feminist and blah, 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 blah. I wanted to collaborate with somebody who clearly was interested in exploring the subject matter. Now, from the premise there, I get the impression that this Slater guy is going to be like a villain. He's going to be like the bad guy who owns this island where he brings girls there, and this girl goes to try to infiltrate that. That just sounds amazing, because Channing Tatum has never done anything like that. And he says that too. He says, in quote, "When Zoe called me about this, I was shocked. No one gives me a chance to play a role like this. Everybody throws me down a different alley and expects me to do a certain thing. It was scary and liberating." And just to think of him going into this kind of evilistic kind of side role, it's just, that's inspired casting. And I would love to see that. Pussy Island. I don't know about the title. I haven't said that word so much since James Bond's Octopussy. So, which we all know is the best James Bond movie ever, right? Okay, guys. So, that's today's movie news. What did you think about some of the stories today? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll talk about it. I felt like that show went pretty good. I think that went fairly well. Let's just see if there's anybody in the comment section. Nope. Okay. So with that being said, guys, we're going to cut that off there. You're watching Mirror Domains, your place for entertainment headlines. It's a 24-hour news story cycle, guys. If I missed something today, I'll get to it tomorrow. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe right there.